Hey everybody, just wanted to take a quick look at Litecoin. Why is Litecoin, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, all those guys dropping right now? Today is, oh man, I don't even know my days anymore. March 29th of 2018. So Wade with Efficiency Trader here, just giving you guys a quick outlook. Let's jump over to our tradingview.com. This is where I use all of my charting software. So we'll jump right into this. So I'm a big price action trader. I look for different levels, and levels, that's going to be different than support and resistance. That's another way some people like to analyze all their trading and how they make their trading decisions. I use a couple different things, but price action based on supply and demand. So we're going to have a little supply and demand area down here. So this thing could keep going, but I'll kind of just show what I see. I'm not going to make too many huge, bold predictions. I'll share if I ever make trades, guys. I am not licensed. I'm not out here giving you guys exact picks. But what I want to do is show you the education process behind this. So if you lose all your money, or shoot, if you make $1 million, don't blame me. But if you make $1 million, you can feel free to give me some credit there. So all joking aside, guys, here's what I'm seeing on this chart. So I'm right here on the weekly chart. So each bar is a week. I like the Japanese candlesticks for various reasons. You get to see a lot more information. So jumping back here, when we start at the red candle and go into the green candle. So this is back in November 6th, 2017. We're right here at 50 some odd dollars. Let's call it $50 to $60 range. Something changed here. So if we look at, and guys, I do everything wrong as far as charting. Everybody says to have nice clean charts. I've got about 1,000 things on here. I should simplify it for when I'm doing videos like this, but I just wanted to take a look into this myself because I got my alert on Coinbase this morning. Oh, it's dropped below your level. So checking out Litecoin here again, LTC, USD here. But basically what happened November 6th to make it jump here on the 13th, and then it freaking kept going. Why is it jumping here? Obviously supply and demand. That's the biggest way to say, hey, there's more of a demand than supply. That's what drives price up. When a lot of people want it, it's just like the new iPhones when they come out. Yeah, they're going to be more expensive than the old iPhones. When the old iPhones are, getting older and older, they're dropping in price. It's all about supply and demand. So that's really how all markets work. That's why I'm big on, hey, well, what's actually going on here? So I can see these scribbles down below. I can check out my volume. Volume, it's increased. It's continued to increase. It slowed down here starting 2018. This is January. But things kept going down. And then markets, they're rarely going to move sideways. If they move sideways, it's not going to be for long. As you can see through this range, it was very sideways for a while. But anytime something's sideways, it's going to explode up or down depending on the situation. Again, the market moves based on who's buying and who's selling, the supply and demand. So we've had some changes here, right here at this level, about the 240 to 250 mark. That's where we first saw this giant drop off. So I'm going to talk about some deep things here, Investopedia, all these Facebook groups, guys. There's plenty of information out there. Obviously, check for valid sources. If people are giving trading advice, make sure they're in that trade. If somebody's saying, oh yeah, buy this, there's a good chance that they're the ones selling it to you. So just be aware for all the online scams out there. So again, if I'm making a trade, I will let you know. I'm currently not trading anything in crypto right now. So here's where we're at, this big price action level. So we jumped from 244 all the way down. Where's this candle wick at? About 139. So you can see here the red one is going to show the current price. I've drawn a lot of stuff on here. So it's one thing, again, I need to make my charts a little bit more clean if I'm going to be doing these videos. So looks like a pretty big drop. But if you look down here, this is going to be December 18th, the week of December 18th. We had this rally, so we're jumping here. If you're looking at candlestick patterns, We've got the three white soldiers, whatever. I don't know the names. I don't really care. I just know what happens when there's a bunch of green candles after another. It's showing that we're uptrending here. Same with here. We're downtrending with these guys. So we've got the 3, and then we've got the confirmation. If you're going for confirmation, you're too late because boom, this thing's already going back up. So that's the thing about a lot of different pattern recognition, candlesticks. There's ways to learn how prices move, but again, it's all based on who's buying, who's selling, and who's driving the price up or down based on the amount of orders and the order flow. So keep jumping back to this point right here. Here's our wick for this downtrending candle. It's very close. This is within the range. Some people will call this a resistance area. So again, if you're more of the resistance type trader, if you're looking at that, we're hitting a floor here, and then we bounce back up to here, then we hit another floor here. So that's why I think those are mostly psychological factors. You can see I'll even put in a line here. Put this thing in as orange so we know that it's just whatever, support and resistance, however the cool kids are calling it these days. So right in there, most of the wicks are bouncing here, it's bouncing back up, bouncing within this area. So a lot of traders will say, hey, if it breaks this orange line, which would be the support level, if it breaks the support, oh, it's going to crash. So, all right, it broke it here, it broke it here, it broke it here, hit it there, and now it's breaking it again. So what does all this mean? I'm saying it goes back to this wick theory. So right here with these wicks, price is, moving up at this wick. Now it's moving back down. So psychological factor says, hey, if it breaks, it's going to keep going down. All right, well, next time it breaks this orange line, it went all the way down to 111 with some change here. So this was on January 29th of 2018, and then something happened. Price drove right back up, and then it broke this support level, or support level again back in February. So okay, and it's very close. It's a little bit lower price range here, but jump back up. So if we're going between this new range, again, I'll put in this support resistance line, just jumping in around here. I'm very loose with these because I think they're more of a psychological thing rather than what the market's actually doing. If people see a number, oh, it stopped here, it moved again. Looking back, you can make anything say anything. So really what I'm looking for is, why are people buying? Why are people selling? What's moving price up and down? I haven't checked the news yet. Obviously over here on the right, there's some news headlines. It's just another tool to add to your bag of how am I going to make my trades? So coming back over here, we're very close wick-wise. Jumping on these two wicks, they're within a couple dollars, so the 110-ish range. But jumping back down, this is what I want to talk about, guys, is supply and demand zones. It's different than support and resistance. Oftentimes, long wicks show quick price movement. That means a lot of people jumped in, or a lot of people made a trade, buying or selling all at once. So that's why we've got this huge wick right here. That means, oh my gosh, everybody sees that we jumped from 100 all the way up to 220, 230, all within a week. So again, these candles are for a week. That drove price all the way up because these people are jumping on a little bit late, whatever. Price continues to jump up to the 340 mark. So it's safe to say that there's unfilled orders. Anytime we see these wicks, it's probably an unfilled order because there's so many orders going in at once. It's the popularity, it's the scarcity. Oh, I don't want to miss out. What if this thing hits $1 million? Okay, guys, it's Litecoin. We jumped from, let's say, $100 to 300 in a week. All right, yeah, that's terrific. But how many people held on 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and they just say they got in here at the 350 mark, say they got in at the 300 mark? When was the last time it hit 300? It's been several weeks. So some people get scared. As soon as this starts to go down, somebody's going to say, oh, it's crashing. Litecoin, it's a new cryptocurrency, relatively new cryptocurrency. It's an alternative method of payment. We're not where the end goal of any cryptocurrency is. It's an industry disruptor. I don't think this thing is going away. Sure, all the altcoins are jumping. People are pulling money. People are cashing out and buying their little Lambos and Ferraris. Those are the guys that know what's going on with this price action. They know when to get in, when to get out. So what I'm going to say here is, all right, we've got some levels here. All right, if we're doing support and resistance, cool, we broke this support level again. Are we going back down? So boom, we can put in another line for here. So this is the next area. So here's this. If it breaks here, we can play this line game all day long, but the fact of the matter is we go back down to here and getting into the supply and demand areas. Let's see if I can find the right rectangle here. All right, so it's been flat for a while here, and then we've had a spark. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm very loose with these just to make a quick video. Let's say it's in the $50 range, it looks like here. So $50 to $70, let's call that the new supply and demand level. Up here, we were flat for a while, then we went down next. So I'm going to make this one over here. It's getting a little crazy. So we'll make this one green. So probably have those colors reversed on what I normally do, but for this, it doesn't matter. So basically, we've established supply and demand levels. Basically, there's probably unfilled orders down here still because this thing shot up so quickly. Here's one warning. If it breaks this new red bar that I put in here, if this price keeps going down, oh my gosh, if we get past $42, again, we've got to zoom out here. Where has Litecoin been trading previously? So we've been in this range for quite some time. This was $12. I remember back when I got in when it was $30. Jumped out several times since then. I'm a day trader, so I get in, I get out. I'm not looking for those long positions. But there's a chance it can still reach $20, $30 and not go away. There's a chance it could jump back up to $500, get past the 370 mark that we've been at, and keep going up. But all this is saying is, all right, we're starting to trade a little bit sideways now. We had this huge surge. There's a lot towards the end of the year. You've noticed this with Bitcoin. You've noticed this with Ethereum, all those other coins out there, all the main ones, those three. But now we're starting to trade a little bit sideways. If we want to say it's staying between support and resistance, and then it's just returning to this level, that could be true based on the 1 week chart. So what we can do is zoom in. I like to jump around with different time frames. So the 1 day chart, okay, yeah, we're seriously downtrending, but still, this is that green one from when we were still on the 1 week. We're still within this range, right? So basically what this looks like is this thing's got some room to play. It still can come down here. Again, we're just looking at different time frames, but we're starting to see some wicks. We're getting more wicks down, more wicks down, more wicks down. That means that this thing is starting to lose momentum. And sure, it could hit the 100, let's call it 16, 110, whatever. It can still hit that mark. If it breaks through support and resistance, again, I'm not a huge fan of that, but it does show statistically. I mean, I don't know the exact statistics on it. That's why I won't trade it. Supply and demand, though, you can see the exact statistics because, again, when there's more buy orders or more sell orders, the price is moving based on that. So if we're jumping in here, if I was going to trade this thing today, it's still going downtrending pretty hard. But again, I think there's something that's going to happen about the 110 mark. And then also, if we jump back to here, if it breaks the 110 mark, sure, it might keep going down. It might go up and down before it reaches here. But I still think there's unfilled orders at 75. It's going to be the same players that got in here and sold when it got up here. Again, you got to think, who are these guys buying from and who are they selling to? So with supply and demand, we talk about retail traders a lot. We talk about buying on discount. Even going back to Warren Buffett, Warren talks about, obviously first, never losing money, but then always buying a value stock below market value. So if you see, let's call Apple. If Apple, just an example number, let's say it's worth $100. So if it's worth 100, but it's currently trading at 50, that means I'm going to buy it at 50 because it's going to go back to 100 at some point. It's going to keep growing. So that's what people are doing in here. Again, what is Litecoin worth right now? Some people at one point thought it was worth 370. Some people thought the majority of the time it was between 80 and let's say 40. So that's what's happening in between here is finding out the market. I'm not going to say it's a correction. I don't believe in all that either. It's all about who's buying, who's selling, and it's the perceived value. Right now, the perceived value of Litecoin's going down. I know a lot of the altcoins are going up. So it could just be something as simple as a market shift, or it could be the big players just baiting people into making trades. So as far as that, I'm not currently trading this. I know for myself, I will post a video if I do, but I'm not looking to buy until it reaches about the 70, let's say anything below 80 mark. Again, I think it can hit around here, the 110, 106 mark, and bounce. It might trade through here for a while, but ultimately for Litecoin, I'm long on Litecoin. The coins I do have, I'm holding for years. I'm not looking to get in and get out anymore. I've made my day trades, made some money on these ups and downs, but got in about here again. I'm not going to buy unless the price drops below where I'm currently at. So as far as that, you're free to do what you want with this information, but I've talked about a lot of elements of trading, a lot of elements on the chart here. If you're interested on what all these things mean, definitely reach out to me. Efficiencytrader.com. There's a way to subscribe. There's a way to message me. There's a way to book a free 15-minute session. I will coach you on anything you have questions on here. If you're not sure what a candlestick is, if you're not sure about any of this, what's a cryptocurrency, if you're not sure what supply and demand are, if you want to know what each of these lines, their moving averages and Bollinger Bands, if we're looking at these other two windows, I've either got MACD in here or yeah, it might be MACD today. I change out my MACD every once in a while, and then obviously going for RSI is going to be this bottom one. So again, these are all things that I use. Half the time I get lazy. I leave a bunch of things on a chart when really you want to have just a couple things that you're an expert at. And again, any of these indicators, if it's Bollinger Bands, if it's MACD, if it's RSI, they're all lagging indicators. There's nothing that's going to predict what's going to happen next. And that's why a lot of trading, especially day trading, it's called speculative trading. It means you're speculating, you're guessing which way the market's going to move next. So if I jumped in here and guessed it's going up here or going down here, either way I've got a 50% chance probability-wise. There's two directions it can go. But reality says, you know, it can go up, it can go down, and float between these ranges. If you're not familiar with support and resistance, give me a holler. I'll coach you through what all that looks like. Again, I'm here for you. I want to make this as simple and easy as possible for you. Hopefully you guys learned something. I think there's some ranges in here, but it goes back to supply and demand. Right now, price is moving down, but we've got a lot of candlesticks, guys. So get familiar with that. Again, Wade with Efficiency Trader. Give me a shout if you have any questions. Have a good one.